it seems like we're recording. So I'm going to do this. Guys, my name's Paul, the Gypsy Wares channel. Thanks for tuning in here. We're going to have a look at some of the things I've sold in the last day, since 4 o'clock in the morning this morning. It's 11:43 at night. So I guess these 5 items here will be the day's sales, okay? So let's have a look over here. Right now, the purpose of this video is I'm actually experimenting with OBS software. I don't know if you know what that is, but I don't want to get into that. I'm experimenting streaming and recording the video at the same time with the software. Eventually we'll upload the video to, whatever platform we decide to do that with. Cool. Anyway, if you guys haven't seen me, I'm sorry. A lot's been going on. The new year, I got a little sick at the end of the year and was in and out of the hospital for the first few months of the year. And then when I got ready to go back to work, by the time I was recovered from surgery, I'm ready to go back to my night gig as a karaoke host in the bars 4 nights a week. That's my living. They shut the world down, Coronavirus came in, and I don't know what I'm going to do there. I have my reselling business on the side here, which I've been building for the last few years. 2016, I kind of started getting into the business, but it took a lot of learning and stuff to get to where I am now. But now it looks like that I might have to rely on the reselling business, so I'm trying to ramp that up right now. And I have a lot more time on my hands, so I'm experimenting with these video software and whatnot. But what I want to show you today is what we've sold in the last day on eBay. So there we go. So our first item we're going to talk about here is Steve Yzerman Stanley Cup collectible memorabilia thing. It's basically about 6 inches tall, maybe, and it's just a piece of plastic, I think, with a sticker on the front of it. But anyway, I had 3 of these collectibles from the Detroit Red Wings, different players, and I checked the solds on eBay, and a lot of people trying to sell them and not very many selling them. One sold for $70, but only the one, and everybody else has been taking best offers, and other people have sold them for a buck or two, and just what are they worth, really? And I don't know. I listed all 3 of the players, all different players, for $20 each. And I could kind of tell when I looked at it a few hours later that Steve Yzerman was going to be a little bit more popular than the other 2 guys. And I probably should have raised his price a little bit right away. Anyway, he sold within a few hours. And if you sell something that fast on eBay, you generally, in my experience, either somebody really wanted it and they were looking for it and they had it on their snipe list and was going to pay any price for it, or else you underpriced it. And most of the time you underpriced it. I think I might have underpriced it. I probably maybe could have got $50 for it if I wanted to wait. Whatever. I mean, I'm a reseller. I am in the position of moving inventory. Okay, this comes out of a collection of bobbleheads I bought, which we're going to make lots of money on all that stuff. So you don't need to maximize every dollar. And if it sits in your tote or your shelf or whatever it sits on, collecting dust for a year to make a few extra bucks, it doesn't really make sense to me. I'm in the business of moving the product. So anyway, so we sold that $20 out the door. Nice. This is an interesting little item here. I got 48 of them here. I bought from a liquidator here. They're all brand new, and it's just a wire, basically, um, that wires up LEDs that go on top of your truck or whatever. And I bought 48 of them. Now the brand is Nylite or something like that. I can't remember the brand name, but I don't know if you guys know about eBay. They have this Vero thing, okay, which basically protects brands and against guys like me that are selling their stuff, okay. For example, Nike doesn't want Joe Blow selling Nike. You know what I mean? Certain people want to protect their name, they only want to sell their stuff. It's their brand, Nike. You know, even though we have the kind of like the right to sell anything we own, we don't. So that's just the way that works. Anyhow, long story short, I posted this months ago because I had so many of them, and within a day or so, or maybe a week, I don't know, get an email from eBay saying, you've been the Vero strike or whatever. The brand doesn't want you selling their stuff, and we've removed the listing. So I kind of forgot about it for a bit. I saw them in the warehouse the other day. I was kind of going through inventory and stuff, and saw the box full of them, 48 of them sitting there, or 47. I probably sold one. And I'm like, let's relist them again and just pull the brand out completely, out of the listing title and out of the item specifics. And so I did that, and I told eBay, let's promote it. Promote the listing, give them an extra 2% or whatever I set it at. We sold one, and it wasn't even a promoted sale, so just the regular 10% or whatever you pay eBay. Happy about that, and happy we got one sold on the listing now. So that will bring the listing up once you've sold one and stuff, and especially if you don't get a return on it. I think it'll help. It helps bring the listing up in the eBay search algorithm. I don't know if that's the truth or not. I don't know anything about their algorithm. Nobody really does. We just kind of guess at what works and what doesn't, right? So that's kind of cool. So it says we got 34 more of them available. We got more than that, but I never really truly tell eBay how many I have of something. I find actually it's odd for me to say we have 30 something. Normally I would say we have 6 or 4, because I find it's another one of those things. I find I don't have proof, but you tell eBay that you got 100 or something, and they're like, yeah, you got 100 and you want to sell those, don't you? Well, we're not going to show anybody unless you want to pay us an extra 4 or 5 or 6%, maybe 7 or 8 or 12% on top of the 10% you're already paying. I don't think so. But my way to avoid that is to tell eBay I have less. Lie to them, basically. Now, that doesn't always work out in my favor, okay? Because sometimes I'll say I only have 6, and then a buyer will buy all 6, and I'll be out of stock. And A, I have to pay to relist it again, and because I have more. And B, you don't know if that buyer would have bought everything you had when you got 50, and you said you only had 6. You know what I mean? So it can work against you that way as well. And I've also heard that listings that have larger quantities are also favored. So who really knows how the algorithm works? We're all just guessing, I think. eBay will tell you a little bit about what they favor or whatnot, but you kind of got to use your common sense about what's happening behind the scenes. I find a lot of times that when you print a shipping label, that all of a sudden you'll start selling something. It's weird, I read that somewhere. Somebody wrote that on Facebook on one of the groups or something. Said, print a shipping label whenever you can, like as soon as you can, and eBay will like show more of your listings, and you'll make a sale. And it's kind of weird, man. It's like as soon as I print a shipping label, the first shipping label, all of a sudden I'll sell something 10 minutes later, and it's like, well, maybe, I don't. Coincidence? I don't know. Does anybody really know? All right. So the next item we're going to have a look at is a GE, General Electric replica cathedral style radio, right? This thing's been sitting around the warehouse for a while, and we really tweaked that first photo with the eBay tweakers. That's kind of not really what it looks like. You can see it's a little bit lighter colored there. But this is just a repop, guys. This is a reproduction. Meant to look older than it really is. But we still got $75 for it, plus shipping. It's probably not going very far because, that would cost to ship that to the States $50 minimum, depending where you're going. Bring down to Texas, that would be an $80 ride. So that's kind of cool. It's been sitting around the shop a while. That's been on my shelf. I can tell. I can't go over to the other screen, or else we're going to show stuff I can't show. But it's been on the shelf a while, and I just moved it just the other day. I needed an extra inch on the shelf, so I had to move it over an inch so I could put this beta player down beside it. And it's weird, man. You touch your stuff, you touch your inventory, and it's like it sells. It's superstition. That's another thing, I can't prove it, but it's just weird how that works. Let's get into the next item here, guys. Dale Earnhardt Jr., 2004 Father's Day Budweiser 124 Action diecast car. Nice, $30.44. It was on sale from $34.99. This came out of a nice adult collection I bought off of a guy's son. I think he inherited all his dad's stuff. He didn't really want nothing to do with it. I paid him good money for all this NASCAR stuff. After I bought it, I was kind of like, oh no, NASCAR doesn't sell, and I've always kind of heard NASCAR doesn't sell, but this stuff was all in nice, good shape. It was in boxes, not too dusty and stuff. You could tell some of it had been displayed, and you know what? I did really, really well on this collection. My wife was so sick of NASCAR stuff by the time we were done listing it, because there was a lot of NASCAR stuff. The 124 scale sold well in these boxes here. Not bad. We got $25 on average for each car. Some went for a little higher, some went for a little bit lower, not much lower than that. About $25 each car. I paid him $5 a piece. I think something around that area. I don't remember exactly. I think it was a couple totes, and I think I paid him $200 for the two totes, or $150. But we did okay. It took a long time to sell through most of them, and I'll be honest, the smaller cars, the dinky size cars, 150, 164 and stuff like that, got a lot of them left. A lot of them. We sold a few, but the 124 scales we did okay with, and if you can pick them up cheap enough, in the box and stuff like this, why not? I mean, whoever tells you NASCAR's dead, whatever. People can tell you whatever they want, but I've sold it. In the last year and a half, I've sold most of this collection and probably quadrupled my money. But a lot of cars, a lot of listings. It is what it is. That's part of the game. This is a time suck. This whole business is a big time suck. So the last item I'd like to get into is interesting, especially for what's going on in the world right now. So I ran into about 17 of these units. Yeah, 17 of them. And I've sold, I think this is the 6th one in the last 2 weeks, maybe 2.5, 3 weeks. Okay, we're getting $500 a piece, and they're meant to test, they're instruments to test the N95 masks, the masks that the medical staff and whatever are wearing to protect against the coronavirus. How the heck did I run across this kind of equipment in the middle of a pandemic? I don't know. But I did. I'm not going to get into how I did. But yeah. And we're not price gouging. We're asking reasonable amount of money for instruments of this nature. This stuff is worth thousands and thousands new. This is outdated technology. And it may be overdue for calibration. We tell them that right here. Instrument may be overdue for calibration. Good use, working condition. Okay, powers up. All the buttons work. Respond. It may be overdue for calibration, and we sent them out. People have been happy so far. We say what it includes, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So that brings the total up. These 5 items with shipping were just under $900. Yeah, so you can make money on eBay. It's not every day you sell a $500 item, though. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I've been fortunate enough to sell a bunch of $500 items in the past few weeks when after the bar business shut down and I lost my bread and butter. So hopefully that is, fingers crossed, my hopefully that is going to help me out through these trying times, I guess, guys. My name's Paul. This is the Gypsy Wares channel. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm going to try and put together some more videos and whatever. So I'm going to stop this video right here, stop recording. We're going to upload this to the YouTube platform probably, but we'll keep the stream going here. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Subscribe.